Now to talk more about this, we have been joined by Mr. Zubair Hussain. He is a geopolitical analyst. He is joining us from Sweden. Welcome to Pakistan TV, sir. And diving straight into the question, what significance do you see of the unfolding events, and how serious do you think this threat, this attack of Russia on Ukraine with hypersonic missiles, how serious is it about to get?
Well, look, the mood in Europe right now is one of extreme alarm, but also a sense that rules of the game just have changed. This wasn't another missile strike by firing a Mark 10 Oreshnik, which remember can carry nuclear warhead just 60 kilometers from the Polish border. Putin is sending a direct message to NATO. He is essentially saying, I can hit your doorstep with a weapon you cannot intercept. For the AU, there are three major concerns. First is the time factor. At 13,000 kilometers per hour, this missile can reach major European capital in under 15 minutes. That leaves almost zero time for leaders in Paris or Berlin to even verify what is happening before impact. It's a massive psychological shock to European security. And the second is the direct attack on European energy lifeline. The strike hit massive underground gas storage site in Lviv. This isn't just a Ukrainian facility. It's one of the largest in Europe. By targeting in the middle of freezing winter, Russia is showing it can hold the entire continent heating and power grid hostage. And finally, the diplomatic red line. We saw the Qatari embassy in Kyiv get damaged in this barrage. This is very significant because Qatar is vital mediator for prisoner swap and humanitarian deal. For Europe, this shows that Russia is willing to risk hitting neutral diplomatic mission to prove a point. So when you ask how Europe is looking at this, they see it a hypersonic diplomacy. Putin is trying to use fear to force a deal on his terms, especially now that there is so much talk about peace negotiations. Europe response will be a push for even faster missile defense upgrades. But for now, they are looking at a very dangerous new phase of the war. Yeah.
Well, sir, looking at the entire scenario and looking at the Venezuela side as well of the situation, we know that the U.S. seized the Russian-flagged tanker just off the coast of Venezuela. Do you think that this is also in retaliation of that, and not just for the attacks that were conducted on Mr. Putin's residence?
Actually, it's all about the timing of the peace talks. Just this week, Ukraine and its Western allies were discussing to plan deploy European peacekeeping troops after a ceasefire. Moscow hates this idea. They have already called these potential troops legitimate targets. It's not about any Venezuela reaction. So by firing Oreshnik now, Putin is essentially blowing up the negotiation table. He is showing that he is betting on a winter of terror rather than diplomatic breakthrough with new Trump administration. It's a classic Russian move, escalate the violence to gain leverage before the real bargaining begins.
But talking about the leverage, do you think that this is the very right time, because we see that the US is also talking about annexing Greenland, and that is bringing a rift between the European Union with NATO and the US. How do you see that?
Actually, it tells us there is a major credibility gap between Moscow, Washington, and Europe. Russia is using the alleged assassination attempt as a legal cover of for using such a powerful weapon. But when the US President-elect and CIA both says that event was likely fabricated, it makes Russia retaliation look like premeditated provocation. It's not about the Greenland or the Europe. For Europe, this is terrifying. It means Russia can invent a reason to use hypersonic weapon at any time. It's what we call strategic hallucination, creating a fake crisis to justify a real deadly escalation.
And sir, how do you see Ukraine responding to this hypersonic attack? Do you see future attacks from the Russian side as well with these same Oreshnik hypersonic missiles?
Right now, the honest answer is no. Ukraine's current Patriot systems are excellent, but they aren't designed to stop missile moving at 13,000 kilometers per hour. NATO is a tough sport. They are moving to escalate Patriot delivers, but to stop an Oreshnik, you need specialization, hypersonic inspectors, that are still in the testing phase in the West. The defense gap is exactly what Putin is exploiting. Europe is now realizing they need hypersonic shield, but that will take years to build, not weeks.
Years to build. Are there none? Are there no, countermeasures for countering this hypersonic missile at the moment installed in Ukraine?
Sorry?
Are there no countermeasures to take out these Oreshnik missile, these hypersonic missiles? Are there no countermeasures installed in Ukraine at the moment?
No, there is extremely gap between the hypersonic interceptors nowadays, not only in the Ukraine, but Europe is also thinking that how we can build something that can be a hypersonic shield. And you can see that it's a massive diplomatic blunder of Moscow because Qatar is not combatant. In fact, Doha has been the primary bridge for the prisoner swap and returning kidnapping children. By damaging the Qatari mission, Russia is biting the hand that feeds its diplomacy. It signals to the global south that Russia is becoming increasingly reckless. If you can't even protect that embassy of a counter helping you negotiate, who can you guarantee safety for? So it means it's going to make neutral countries very nervous about their relationship with Russia. So there is neither they have any interceptors or a shield, and neither nobody can be in between a mediator or maybe a neutral country to have a peace talk between Russia, Ukraine, and Europe.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Zubair Hussain. You're a geopolitical analyst. Thank you so much for your valuable time and insights on Pakistan TV.